for nothing, die for something. Or make a movie that critics hate and audiences like, and well, now here's what I think about the movie, and I'm sorry for that really shitty Stallone impression. Rambo Last Blood. Sylvester Stallone returns once again as John Rambo, who's living a peaceful life. That is until one day where his niece is abducted by human traffickers, and he must save the day. Hey there guys, how are you? So I'm a huge fan of the Rambo flicks. For me, my personal favorite is First Blood. It's about a Vietnam veteran returning home, and he's poorly mistreated, and then he takes matters into his own hands and starts blowing shit up. I like that movie a lot. And then in the mid-1980s, the sequels became a reason for Stallone to get even buffer, cover himself in baby oil, and run around in the jungle shooting machine guns and blowing more shit up. And then in 2008, we got Rambo, which I thought was the perfect send-off for the character. And now we have Rambo Last Blood, and compared to Rambo 2008, I think in terms of storytelling, execution, compelling characters, it's a much weaker film than the 2008 movie. But that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I just felt like the 2008 version was a much better send-off and a better film than this new movie, Rambo Last Blood. Now, for all the reasons most critics hated this film are the same reasons why I really enjoyed this movie. The unapologetic, over-the-top, gory violence with shotguns, bow and arrows, tomahawks. That's what makes a Rambo movie, and most of that over-the-top graphic violence take place during the final 20 minutes of this film, where it becomes a glorified, gore-fest, rated-R version of Home Alone, and it's the best part of the entire movie. You see a montage sequence of Stallone setting up all of his booby traps. He even has battle plans that he lays out, except the big difference is Rambo's not using micro machines and paint cans to stop the bad guys. He's using tomahawks and shotguns, and spikes, and decapitation, and murder, and extreme violence. But who cares? These are human traffickers and cartel members. They're bad guys. We want to see bad guys die. Yay! Yeah, I really enjoyed the last 20 minutes of this movie. It's a bloodbath. It's what I wanted to see. I just wish the first hour of this movie would have been as entertaining. Now let's talk about Sylvester Stallone. By the way, I've noticed in some of my videos, actually like 98% of them, I sort of do the mouth slant when I speak. I don't know why that is. It just happens. Sylvester Stallone is 73 years old, and never once throughout this movie did I doubt his ability to kick ass. He's still a convincing action star and looks great for 73 years old. I just hope when I'm 73 years old, I have the ability to talk and not wear a diaper. And for me, Stallone is one of the very few actors still working today in Hollywood that has a screen presence and gravitas about them. Every line that Stallone gives matters. You feel something. You feel like an impact just hit you in the chest. And typically, no matter what film Stallone is in, if it's a bad movie or a great film, his charisma always elevates the movie. The first few acts of this film aren't very entertaining or captivating. You see Rambo maintenancing his underground tunnels and his niece, who has been catapulted into the Rambo franchise because Rambo needs someone to save. So yeah, she's abducted by cartel members who are trafficking a whole bunch of young women, keeping them in this dungeon environment and drugging them up to keep them sedated. And with all that said, I think the obvious movie comparison to that same synopsis is the film Taken, except Taken doesn't have Rambo in it. And with a story like this, the film does give you the perfect villains that you do want to see brutally murdered by the end of the film. I just wish they would have executed it and presented the story a little bit different to make it more interesting and compelling. And the one last thing I want to mention about Stallone in this film was I miss the old Rambo hairdo. It's sort of like a mullet. I wanted that in this film. Nowadays, he sort of just looks like Rocky Balboa. I'm not saying he had to go full 1980s. I just wanted to see a little something in the back. Am I the only one? One other thing I wanted to talk about with this film is, and I might be a bit nitpicky because people will say, well, John, it's just a big stupid action movie with Rambo in it. The movie stylistically and tonally sort of looks like the first Expendables movie. Stylistically, it just feels like a very substandard film. I wanted a little more grit. Now here are my final flicking thoughts on Rambo Last Blood. The best part about this film are the final 20 minutes. And hey, if your motto is you just want to see a big, dumb, over-the-top rated-R action movie, well, you do sort of get that in the last 20 minutes of this film. But for me, Rambo is an established character I care about. I want to see a story where he embarks on it that's interesting, and I felt like the 2008 Rambo film gave me that. This new version, the story didn't really resonate, and I didn't really care. And I don't really feel like this movie had much to say in terms of the character and evolving and continuing on. There was really no purpose for another Rambo sequel. But the movie's only 90 minutes long. It's an easy movie to get through, and I'd recommend watching it one day on Netflix if you get bored. So I'm going to give Rambo Last Blood And once again, I loved all of the violence in this film. It was everything else that was the issue. Those are my thoughts on Rambo Last Blood. Now here's my question for you, and let me know down below in the comments, what did you think about this movie Or what is your favorite Stallone movie of all time? I think you guys already know mine. And two quick things I want to mention very quickly before I go. Did you guys notice that awesome Rambo 2 poster back there during the video? Yeah, this is a metal poster by Display. You guys can check out the link down below to Display. They have thousands of different movie posters and designs, and the best thing is, these posters are printed on metal. By the way, check out Stallone's pecs right there. Look how oiled up. How much baby oil do you think he put on for that? So definitely check out the link to Display down below and use my promo code to save some money if you guys want to pick one of these up. And the coolest thing is, they stick to the wall with magnets. It's that easy. And one more quick update. A few weeks back, I posted an awesome flick trip video where me and Chris Stuckman went to Family Video. It's one of the last remaining video stores. So big thanks to Family Video for helping me make that video possible. It's one of my favorite videos I've made in a very long time. And also, I know a lot of you guys collect movies and buy Blu-rays, like me. And if you guys want some really good low-cost Blu-ray deals, definitely check out the link down below to Family Video. They don't just rent movies, they sell used Blu-rays for very low prices. So if you guys want new titles that just came out a few weeks ago, you can buy some of these for like $5 on their website. So once again, all links down below, check it out. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe for something. That way you live for nothing. And I'll see you next time.